Oh, if you weren't ready for hyped up for this collab, then you will be now, because that rock music means we're ready to go 1 week later into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Yeah. All right. We are not alone. This is a super exciting collaboration. This is something you would probably expect on the spectrum, but this time it's at two homes. It's at with my boys in Australia, Pop Culture Spread, VHS Chase, and Rick One. And of course, to be seen, that's me, Joe Dove, and Quilly Warlock instead of Billy this week. We are excited to get into all things for the Guardians of the Galaxy. Lots of surprises, lots of emotional tethers in this episode. This film, very well done, and some controversy along with the director once again using his wife. So we'll get into all of that. But first, yeah, let's head into the synopsis.
What's our synopsis?
All right, still reeling from the loss of Gamora, Peter Quill must rally his team to defend the universe and protect one of their own. If this mission is not completely successful, it could possibly lead to the ends of the Guardians as we know them. All right. This is a star-studded film with all of your favorites from Guardians, including Peter Quill, played by our buddy Chris Pratt. We've got Drax the Destroyer, played by Batista. Is he like one word, like Seal? Is that what's happening with Batista?
No, I think he's using Dave.
That's still Dave.
Oh, he's using Dave Batista. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Bradley Cooper is the voice of Rocket Raccoon. Palm Kleminskaleef as Mantis.
I never can say it right either.
Yeah, I think that's Vietnamese. I'm not sure. Of course, the lovely Karen Gillian is Nebula. Austin Freeworm is on-set Groot. I guess he's the voice actor, motion capture actor. Terrence Rosemore as Zimono Smith. Sean Gunn as Curlin. And, of course, Chadwick Tluey as the High Evolutionary. And I probably screw that up.
And
our buddy Vin
massacred those names.
Yeah, if I screwed up your name, I'm
something
so
you
sorry.
didn't mention in there, of course, Nathan Fillion, who gets a bit of a bigger role in this film than he's previously. Sylvester Stallone, of course. And,
right.
And a slew of other little cameos, including the return of... Did that break your heart, that moment when... Did you see a flash of him in the crowd?
You know? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So, we'll talk about that.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah,
Rooker, of course.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, let's get into what worked.
Oh, what worked?
All right, we're going to start with Rick. Rick, what worked for you in this movie?
I'll tell you, for me, it was how the connections and the depth of the story arcs that James Gunn took to do this, because I just thought it was great that we got to see a lot of the backgrounds to obviously Rocket. We got to see his past because we didn't really know much about him. You know, we saw sprockets of him throughout all the other movies, and we got to see a little bit more. We got to see a little bit more about Peter Quill and his family and his connection with his grandfather there and all that as well. And I just thought that was probably the big piece for me, is those story arcs works really, really well. And the villain, probably one of the baddest villains in the MCU.
Yeah.
Worked for me, for sure.
I don't know about you guys, but did you feel this is the first time you've actually hated a villain in the MCU?
Oh, just...
in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's only been Red Skull and this guy. The other ones, I'm like, well, I can understand what you mean, Thanos. There's an awful lot of us.
Yeah.
All right, Jace, what did you think? What worked for you?
Yeah, I mean, really, this movie is Guardians meets the Doctor from Island Moreau in some ways. It's very much like that, but it's handled expertly with James Gunn. He was able to cultivate a script that is heavily rocket focused, and I think that was a smart choice, and that's where most of the emotion from this movie comes from. But it was a really fitting end to this group of Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's not completely perfect because there are some things that I wasn't completely in love with. But overall, the experience was... I haven't had that experience in a Marvel film. And I remember commenting to Rick when we saw them film, I haven't had this experience in a very long time. I think Infinity War is the last time I walked out of a Marvel movie feeling I don't know, this satisfaction, like I'd been through a real journey. So yeah.
All right, Quilly Warlock. I said Billy.
Same difference. It's just I was going with Quill because of Peter and Warlock because of Adam.
Yep. So what worked for you, bud?
What I liked was that they had the good continuity. I mean, who would have thought that a holiday special would actually tie into the thing? I mean, they actually had it that Quill kept on referring to Mantis as his sister. They kept on referring to, if you saw the after credits scene, you saw that they mentioned that Kevin Bacon told the press about his alien abduction.
Yeah, that's right.
I do see that.
Yeah.
And just the fact that this has had a cohesive story since like phase 2. All the stuff that happened in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, the holiday special, Infinity War, and Endgame, they kept up with the continuity beats on everything. They didn't drop a single thread.
Interesting.
It is true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. For me, I thought what got me the most was obviously, as I mentioned, the high evolutionary villain. I thought he was fantastic. But what I really enjoyed that you guys didn't mention was his own planet that he created with all the little like weird people animals. The whole planet of Island of Dr. Moreau, people, animals, and they were like speaking that weird language. I thought that was really cool. I really dug that. I thought that was a unique way to make a villain and, give us a level of, fear because he was able to.
They open that movie, Joe. You talk about fear, and you don't even get to see his face. You just see this giant hand coming in this terrified little like baby raccoon.
Yeah, you got that picture? I'll put that up. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. There's the emotions.
That is from that exact moment as that hand's coming in.
Yeah.
You set the tone of that movie in those first few seconds immediately.
Sorry, can I say, soundtrack to this was phenomenal.
Oh, the music
was just next level in this one.
And now because of the Zune that they got it during the Endgame thing, they can actually have more modern music like they had Radiohead.
Yeah, and shout out to the Zune, whose battery life is clearly doing well. And
maybe I should have kept
software issues.
No. I should have definitely kept mine. Damn it.
Unlike iTunes, you had an iPod, you had to keep upgrading iTunes all the time.
Every week, it feels like I got to
back the Zune.
Yeah, I kind of missed my Zune now.
Yeah, this is going to bring like a nostalgic wave of Zune fans.
Maybe. Imagine the Zune comes back on. Unbelievable. And every time one of these Guardians movies, some of these classic songs hit another love and pop back up on your top whatever lists on the Billboard. So that's always a good nod for all those folks. All right.
What's so clever about it too is the fact that he chooses his songs very specifically, and they all have a subtext message to what's going on in the scene.
Yeah.
So, and in the song that they play from the first one, right at the end, remember, obviously this is spoilers, but right at the end, when you've got the new Guardians, they reference back to that first song they
the old one.
What's the name of that song? Yeah.
Hooked on a Feeling or whatever it was?
On a Feeling, yeah. Hooked on a Feeling?
Yeah. That was super emotional, I thought.
It was a nice bow tie to the end of the film, yeah. All right, well, we talked about what worked. Now let's talk about what didn't work. All right, Rick, what didn't work for you?
Okay. I enjoyed the whole lot of this movie. There wasn't really much that did not work for me at all.
Wow.
Yeah, I like Jay said, when we go into a movie, we're like super excited. Not over, we're just going in, stayed away from all social media and all that, and went in. I really just had an enjoyable time with this whole movie. I wasn't, looking at my watch. I wasn't twitching around. I wasn't doing anything. The pacing of the movie was great. Everything was really good. I can't really pick on anything bad about this movie. I just had a good time. Wow. For me, there was no bad points at all. So
it really is an experience, that movie. That's one of the highest praise I can give it, even though we're talking about what didn't work. It's an experience of a movie.
It's hard to pick at this movie.
Yeah. Now, is this a movie that you guys would go see again? I'm going to go around the room, starting with Jace. Would you see this again in the theater?
I probably won't go to the cinema because there's lots to come up and hopefully a lot more of these shows to do. But Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm going to watch the shit out of this thing on repeat once it hits streaming in 3 months.
Yeah, same.
And
Rick?
it'll just be on high rotation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Same.
hell yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, hell. This is oh, yeah.
Yeah?
This will be watched over and over again.
Yeah.
For
So are you
sure.
going to wait? Or are you going to go in the theater again? Would you go back?
Oh, you know what?
I
in
don't
the
know.
right circumstances, there were free tickets.
Maybe.
Someone rang me and said, "Do you want to go?" Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go,
It's just we've got a ton of movies coming up.
Rick. I know.
Yeah. Don't take that as any distraction.
Yeah.
No.
Philly? Philly, would you go back?
I would go see it again. I would
Yeah.
actually do that again. For the most part, I couldn't really find that many faults with it. I mean, the only thing I occasionally thought during the end was I didn't know like all the new Guardians because not all of them had names yet, but that's really the only nitpick I had. And that's a nitpick, if anything.
You have a picture here. For me, what didn't work is the thing that probably other people thought was cool, and that's that weird space station thing.
Oh,
that
the
was like,
Oculus thing. I love that.
I hated that.
awesome.
I was like, what the fuck? You know?
Really?
Yeah, it was like some
I
like
love that.
B-grade Borg thing going on. It was like if the Borg couldn't quite get that, the technological part, it's like we'll just mass everybody's cells into one thing. Now I did love the people inside of it. My man from Firefly and all.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion.
Excellent.
Yeah,
That moment where
And he finally got
goes,
to
"I'm
show his
sorry,
face."
they're a moron."
Yeah, you got a moron too. I got a moron. Oh my god!
But at one point, he turns to the guy and he's just staring at him for like 5 seconds, looking at him with absolute disgust. I love that.
Yeah, I mean that. Once they got inside, I got over it. But I was like, this is weird looking. Wasn't a fan of that. It was the only thing that I could have said. And I also like Adam Warlock is supposed to be a Thanos level hero. You know what I mean?
This is my nitpick.
All right. Well, you're
absolutely.
next. You're next.
Look, at the end of the day, in some way, I've been able to ratify this is a proto Adam Warlock because very much he is a child and he's portrayed as a child. Intellectually, he's not, right? But it wasn't my Adam Warlock. It's not the Adam Warlock I remember reading, and it's certainly, I think the actor, they probably made a good choice, but
he was perfect, and he got all buff.
I didn't hate him, but I'm very reserved about this version of Adam Warlock at this point. I would need to see him, and we know you're not doing Secret Wars without Adam Warlock, are you?
Right.
You're going to have him in there, I would assume. So maybe there's some more development there, or maybe he shows up in Avengers Kang Dynasty. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was my only thing. If I was to pick on the script, maybe you could say, well, stealing this scene straight from Deadpool 2, probably, because this is literally ripped from Deadpool 2 when Deadpool sees Vanessa in heaven.
Yeah.
He literally does the same thing. Besides that, I can't really, fault it, And you know how Billy, you said about how the continuity's kind of been consistent. I absolutely second that, but even more of a highlight is the fact that James Gunn. When did he write this movie? He wrote it pre-pandemic.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, he may have changed elements, but he wrote this. As soon as they hired him back in 2019, it was pretty well sitting around for almost 18 months before they actually got a chance to shoot it.
Wow. So one of the things about before we move on, just Adam Warlock. I love the design of 2 Marvel characters more than any, but 3: Gladiator, Adam Warlock, and Genus Vell, Captain Marvel. And I think those are some of the best designed characters in Marvel, drawing wise. Because you got like the space body, and he has the big star, and then Adam Warlock is this like gold superstar
And
looking
he had
thing.
a bit of a longer golden locks.
He did.
Right, he had longer golden locks.
Gives you
Yeah.
that Samson kind of vibe.
Right. And you know why? It's because he's based off Jesus Christ Superstar. The original designer, Kirby, was watching Jesus Christ Superstar when he came up with Adam Warlock. And that's why he has this long flowing hair and he's got like this shiny thing about him. Because there's a scene in Jesus Christ Superstar where like they have the solar flare effect before J.J. Abrams was using it. They used it in Jesus Christ Superstar. And that's the genesis of Adam Warlock, which I love.
Well,
All right.
you know, again, I mean, Adam Warlock in the comic books, and maybe Billy could comment more on this, is far more intellectually developed, isn't he?
Yes.
In the comic books.
Yes.
Yeah, Billy, you want to jump in on that for a bit?
A little bit, but I mean, like, because Warlock, I mean, he's had like such a lot of history. I mean, he split himself in 3 at one point in the comic books. And we're not going to be talking about Magnus or any of the other stuff. We're going to be talking about the character is kind of more like a Silver Surfer type in the comic books, very philosophical and kind of like a Marvel Sandman. He does have a lot of depth to the character, but I kind of still enjoyed the kind of dumb version that they used for this. It's still...
It's the proto version, isn't it? That's how I'm dealing with it. It's the proto Adam Warlock. It's not the fully.
I mean, if I was to like get upset about like every version of the characters that aren't accurate, I would be more pissed about Yondu than I would about Adam Warlock. Because like
MODOK, anyone?
MODOK, yeah, sure.
Oh my God, MODOK!
For sure, that was worse, terrible.
But do you think it would have worked if they put more of the comic book character in this movie? Do you think it still would have worked as how it was?
Yeah, probably not, Rick.
I don't think so.
Well, I have to back James Gunn all the way here. He's an expert Hollywood, prolific Hollywood writer at this point. So he probably toyed with it. I'm sure that was his first instinct. Let's get, fully developed Adam Warlock. For the story, it makes sense, doesn't it?
It worked.
Because I really didn't like them as villains in the second movie, and I liked that they actually made them in a way an important part of the third film. That race. And talking about continuity, it's paying off from a second after credits scene in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah, that's right.
The only other reference to Adam Warlock was that conclusion shot right at the end.
Yeah, right. Because in the guy who came out, and I had gotten confused for a second. I was like, I thought Adam Warlock was the guy that came at the end of Eternals. But no, that's somebody else. That's Thanos' brother, I think.
Star Fox. What's his name? Star Fox.
Yeah, that was Star Fox. And I always get... Yeah, they're very comic-wise. Harry Styles, really?
Yeah, it was Harry Styles.
Shit. I didn't know that.
Did you remember? It's
been a while since I've seen that,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that movie. It was just
I was going to say, I'm happy to argue about that film because
that's a good movie. Just people
find that film. I've seen that film about 5 or 6 times now.
Oh wow!
Because I like it because it's different.
It's different.
I actually think of it now as probably one of the strongest Phase 4 movies that was out.
Yeah, I agree. They still never answered to Homeboy coming out of the planet, though. You got those fingers.
Yeah.
They're going to tie that into the X-Men movie, and that's supposedly where they're going to mine the adamantium for Wolverine.
Oh,
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd be into that.
Yeah. Oh, Wolverine's a cosmic being all of a sudden.
Hey, did you see there's a picture of Hugh Jackman up, and he's growing of him growing the
He's growing the beard.
They start filming in a week or two for Deadpool 3. Yeah,
man. Oh, wow. All right. Well, let's hop into the news. What's going on with All right. So how was this movie received? Do we got the Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, look
wow.
at this. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, 82% fresh, 331 reviews, 5,000 verified ratings from the audience,
crazy,
95% fresh with the people. And I didn't realize it was 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's incredible. Didn't feel it.
It felt like a 90-minute movie.
Yeah, it felt like it wrapped quick. Like
a Marvel movie under 3 hours. I thank you very much.
Yeah, Billy's got those hemorrhoids, so he doesn't.
Put it this way, then. Look at Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was 2 hours and 25 minutes, right?
That felt longer.
And that film felt like it was a long.
I felt it dragged. Titanic.
Yeah, that was. But there you go.
You mean Ant-Man wasn't 3.5 hours?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Is that the movie we saw together, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So great, and none of us did a review on it, I don't think.
No.
We talk about it afterwards.
Didn't you guys do something? Why it wasn't that bad? No?
Oh, yeah, it wasn't that bad. We did do something.
Yeah,
I blocked it out of my memory.
Hey,
is anybody else, going back to this Rotten Tomatoes thing, does anybody else really pay attention to the critics' rating anymore?
No.
I don't think
I don't. I tend to look at the popcorn and go,
that's
what is the public thinking? Because the critics, think about it, these people are paid to be critical.
Right.
Correct.
So just to make them stand out so people will click on their review, you know there are critics out there, verified critics, that are putting bad views on there, bad reviews, just so they can get the clicks on their site. Because if you think about it, a movie that's universally loved, you go through your social media feed, you're having a look, and then you see an article going, Guardians 3 sucked. A lot of people out of pure interest going, what, are you cooked? We'll click on the link.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, in fact, that's why the title is Guardians 3 suck. Thanks, guys, for clicking.
And that's why I don't trust a lot of critic ratings anymore. I just go, look, what is the general consensus, and I'll make up my own mind.
Yeah, yeah. But do you feel like sometimes they hate bomb movies, though? Because a lot of times...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they hate bomb movies. Absolutely.
Yeah, because wasn't Last Jedi hate bombed?
Yeah.
I think so.
And it's still a very divisive movie. I personally love that movie.
Yeah,
I consider that the end of the Skywalker saga.
It ended with that movie. There was a rise of who?
If you think about it, besides the fact that it's actually an excellent ending to that saga. We could talk about that on another.
Yeah, well, that's another.
That's another whole thing.
Yeah.
But you know what I heard? This movie made no money.
Really?
No money. It hasn't made a dime.
No way.
You want to have a look at the?
Yeah, let's look at the numbers.
$400 million.
$400 million. Man, they're in
made some money.
Wow.
They're in the red. They got to keep going to make that money back.
That's appalling. That's terrible.
Terrible.
That's
wow.
it.
118 opening weekend? Fucking hell, man. That's great. For post-pandemic? Is this one of the biggest?
That's 8 days.
That's
That's
8 days.
mental.
Yeah,
That's incredible. So this is the biggest movie of the year so far.
I don't know. I'd have to have a look. But
well, hang on. Avatar. No, when did Avatar come out?
Avatar's that's last year.
Yeah,
last
doesn't
year.
count.
It's Christmas. So it doesn't
Otherwise, that would be the.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Super Mario Brothers did a.
It's up there.
Bang on.
Super Mario Brothers is killer. But now Super Mario Brothers was number one
Marvel film in a while.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Numbers.
I'd have to see what the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania opening weekend, because that might have had a stronger opening weekend, but went off the cliff. As soon as everyone went, this is a pile of crap. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, because it looked like Spy Kids. This at least looked like wow.
That's
this
what
actually looked like something out of
Banderas.
Why fucking
Banderas?
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Let's see. Year 2023. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers is the number one movie with 525.
Yeah.
Still catch up.
Still make it.
It will catch up there.
That's been going on for about 5 weeks.
Right. And
this
Guardians
is only 8 days.
168 at number 5 for the year. So it's very impressive.
Guardians will make its money. So
yeah. It'll probably knock out Avatar or Ant-Man for sure.
I don't know about you guys, but the last few superhero films that we saw, if you go back to starting from Black Adam to Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, it was nice to go to a comic book film.
Yeah.
That was good.
I haven't seen Shazam
Things
yet.
have been rocky for
But is that on HBO Max or Max?
You can get a hold of that online.
Yeah.
Rent to
It's
buy
Max.
it
It's on Max, right? Because that's the same company,
It is.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You can definitely watch that online streaming, pay for it, rent it. But and I gave that film way too much opportunity. I'm sitting there going, you know what? Better for the doubt. Well,
That was terrible.
It's crap. I tried. It's a bad film. So it was. I'm just saying, it's nice. It gave me confidence again to go back in to see a superhero film that was handled with class, with emotion, with good storytelling. And you know what? The byproduct is it gets me even more excited for The Flash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the word is out there. If you love Guardians, you're going to freak out about The Flash.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's have the final glance.
Oh, the final glance.
So you kind of hit the nail on the head. I mean, the movie was so well done. So many emotions. Everything went well with this. Billy or Quilly. Quilly. What are your final thoughts on the film?
I'm just a James Gunn fan. I just love what he's done with the franchise. I'm looking forward to what he does with DC when he takes over that. Thanks, we mentioned the Flash and stuff. I don't know that. I'm also curious to see what they do with Star-Lord in Marvel, because they did say Star-Lord will be back.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm curious about Guardians of the Galaxy with Rocket as the leader.
Yeah,
So
that's
there's a lot
comic accurate because Gladiator becomes a Guardian, Captain Marvel as Gene Spell, Kree
Do you
Soldier.
think they'll
becomes
do
a Guardian.
another Guardians film?
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause look how much money this made. With money, Disney's
Yeah,
like,
but that was
"Yo, we
behind.
need the money.
And the
James
Star
Gunn,
Wars
though.
how they'll do
his
without
own
James
film?
Gunn.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Jace?
Do they do a Star-Lord standalone film?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because that, I mean, he had his own comic run for a while, right? So,
Yeah. He had his own comic. Then it
Why
broke
wouldn't
off into Nova Corps. So you could do that. You know, that's a fun one. Rick?
Yeah, mate. For me, it gave us the first F-bomb in an MCU movie.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
How good was that?
That was
Like,
fun.
you know,
get in the effing
that's
car.
get in
Mhm.
the effing car. And that, I think that was more of a shock than anything. Like, you weren't expecting that in any of the MCU movies, and to hear that was awesome. And
But
to
haven't
give
we all
us,
been there, Rick?
yeah,
When are we gonna just get in the
you gotta
car?
push the button. You gotta push it there. So good, so good. And the villain. We touched on the. I touched on the villain. I just thought this villain was absolutely amazing, and how dark they went in some places in this as well, which
Yeah.
was just phenomenal.
They pull his
Um,
face off, dude.
Yeah, how good is that? Like,
Yeah.
you're not
And
gonna
then
see
they
that. in an MCU.
show with him without his face on.
Yeah, and Rocket
tore
did
his
that.
shit up. Yeah, I
Rocket
was like,
did that.
good.
That's what
Did you
was so
guys
cool
cheer
about
when
it.
he tore when the raccoon got out?
Oh
and
yeah.
I was like,
Okay,
"You're
that-
gonna-"
Oh yeah, you were gutted
Get it,
for
I
it.
thought, was it my
Yeah.
imagination where
You know.
Drax said, was he wearing a mask?
yeah, that was a face
Yeah.
mask. His
That was
own
the
face mask.
face.
No, I meant Drax actually saying it like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
Wait, is he wearing a mask?
Oh yeah.
And you know,
But,
we didn't touch on some of those beautiful moments with Drax.
Mm.
The whole idea, what got me was the whole idea with Drax was, you know, when Mantis says to him, "You're not Drax the Destroyer. You're a dad."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, losing my shit at that moment. So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's what they did. Every character, like Billy said earlier, every character's given its just desserts. Like,
Right.
no one is left behind here. And I don't know.
I was going to say, I thought they were going to kill some off. I thought
Right.
Drax was going to die.
Especially when they did that slow mo and that weird shit thing. I was like, oh, and he got shot. I was like,
He
oh,
was-
he's
Yeah.
gonna
I
die.
thought, man, they're going
Twice.
to. But
Oh, and they did
Yeah,
the fake out
it's
with
for sure
Quill
he
where
was
they made
toast.
it look like Peter was going to die like Yondu. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
thought he
Yeah.
was dead because as soon as his face is exploding,
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
toast.
God.
That's what I thought. Yeah, but he made it. He made it.
That-
They were
that's
like,
that's
"I
James
like
Gunn,
money."
brilliant writing. He's subverting expectation on the audience without the normal
yeah, good
subverting
subversion of
expectations.
expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is usually a negative connotation, but he's done it right. We all
Yeah,
expected
good.
somebody to die.
And he didn't. And they didn't.
No, they didn't.
And I got to show this one. This shit freaked me out. I felt so bad.
Yeah,
I actually went home and hugged my dog when I got home because I was like, oh no, they're doing all these experiments. So like
Yeah.
knowing how they do things in manufacturing, I'm not going to get into detail, but
Yeah.
this really hurt a lot. I was like, that scene where he was picking them apart and he's like, how are
Yeah.
you, feeble animal, able to figure out what I could not? And he's like so
Yeah.
arrogant and over the top. But the torture that they put Rocket through is just incredible. And you felt every moment. It was fantastic. But
I
another scene
appreciate the Ninja Turtle cameo.
Ninja Turtle.
Remember
Oh,
they
when he
shoved
turned
that
the
in
turtle in
the
the
face?
yeah.
Oh, I just
Right,
needed a head.
Yeah.
just needed a colour pencil.
And then
Yeah,
killed
yeah.
him. Yeah. Toast. But yeah, when Drax got shot, I really thought that was the end because they even like did the slow mo and
Yeah.
you know for sure I
But
thought that
even
was
minor characters get beautiful moments. Look at Kraglin trying to figure out how to control that arrow.
that's right. Yeah.
And then obviously when I
Yeah.
mentioned before about him seeing Yondu, and then that cool
Yeah.
scene where he's knocking him out. Even the relationship between him and Cosmo, where he calls Cosmo a bad dog.
That's
Oh
And
yes.
she's constantly going, I'm not a bad dog, I'm not a bad dog. And the moment
Take it back.
he says you're a good dog, even that got to me. I was a
Yeah.
blubbering mess.
Oh yeah, Cosmo was a dope
Right.
character that I loved.
Yeah.
That wasn't even like in any of the Guardians. It wasn't even like a side character. It was just perfect in every level.
Yeah, just a throwaway
Another-
background character like Howard the Duck. Who
Yeah.
was also
Who
in
was
this
also
again.
in
as
this.
well.
Who was in there?
Yeah. Howard.
Which was
He didn't
awesome.
talk, but at least he was in there.
Also, come on,
Um,
let's bring up this super cool moment. Yeah, that's saying. But I think
Yeah.
I've got the image there, and if you can see
Go
it,
for it.
Joe, the image of Groot and Star-Lord when he goes, kill them all.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Groot pulled out all that
really?
weaponry out of his chest.
Yeah, that was dope.
And they're back to back doing that cycle. I think it's here, number 8, Joe. Is this the one?
Oh, that one. Yeah. I can see
Yeah.
this. I need my glasses.
Yeah, like.
Oh, yeah. That was sick.
come
He had all the
on.
little guns.
Yeah.
I love that because he was like, "Yeah, I'm playing this. I knew you were gonna try to trick me. It's a trap, you know." And he
But
was
only
prepared.
to be topped.
Yeah, it's not a trap. It's a standoff.
It's a standoff. Yeah.
That's right.
Only
We're
to
not
be
trapped, it's
topped.
a standoff.
Yeah.
But only to be topped by that hallway fight at the end. Now, what a scene, guys. The hallway fight. We're all going through those guys in the hallway.
Oh, yes.
Everybody,
Yes,
and
yes,
the
yes.
camera non-stop follows each character as they all get to do their special move or their signature way of doing it.
Yeah.
I thought that was one of the greatest action scene in a Marvel film for a long time. I thought it was perfection.
Yeah. So what's going to happen with Nebula? That's
Nothing.
Well, Nebula, that was beautiful too, because really what we find out is that she had a family the whole time, and that version of that was the Ravengers.
Right.
When
So
she
she's going to
goes
just
back-
stay with them, and that's it.
Yeah, well, because you see that scene when she goes back to him, they're all hugging and kissing her, and she's beaming with a smile. I'm so glad that they handled that particular relationship so well, Peter and Gamora, because it could have easily been, oh, she falls in love with Peter because Peter does all this heroic stuff. But the fact that, no, like a normal relationship, it's broke down. You have to get a point to acceptance to move on.
Yeah.
Well done,
and that's
James
what they
Gunn.
did. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. And the other big elephant of the room is: do you feel that James Gunn using his wife again in this, as he did in Peacemaker, as he did?
No
doesn't
issues
bother
with
me.
what?
But
And the only thing I would say is that she seemed like the same character from Peacemaker. Like, being pissed off and angry. Would be my only thing. I mean, she's not hard to watch, but
no, it's lovely.
He does that all the time, and Nathan Fillion's been in most of his films. You know, he brings
but you could see that
he's got,
like,
ever since Slither, he's got a cameo or something.
Oh,
he was one of the other Ravagers in the Guardians films, but
really, oh, nice.
Yeah.
So look, he posts his brother. He does that. You could say that about bloody Adam Sandler. He casts everyone of his mates and all that.
Michael,
you know
Walker,
what I mean?
It's been in bloody everything.
That's just people on the internet being a bunch of bitches. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares?
People on the internet are a bunch of bitches.
There we go.
And it was, and the part that she had,
subscribe.
and the part that she had, the part that she had was minor. It was the minor little part in the whole movie.
Yeah. But a great scene, man. What a great scene inside that. I like that organic tech.
Yeah.
Once they got inside of it, and it was like, okay, but there's just how it looked was just
very James Gunn.
Yeah.
Hey, talking about James Gunn, I know this is off Marvel, but Superman Legacy, guys, what do you think? Are we excited about Superman?
I thought you were going to
Legacy?
say how he'd slowly be turning into Adam Savage, but
no,
James
James Gunn written now, directed. He looks like he's got his guy. I've never heard of this guy, but apparently he's on one of the
Superman
shows. Yeah. Yeah. The dog's going to be in it. Crypto is apparently in the film.
Wow.
They're looking at Nicholas Hoult for Lex Luthor.
What?
Okay.
Right. Interesting.
I don't know how I feel about that after watching Renfield.
Oh, no, I like him.
No.
Well, think
I
about
like
him
Renfield,
from Mad
but-
Max Fury Road then. A bold version of him
Oh,
in that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. But, yeah.
But he's a good actor, so I feel like he would probably pull it. He'd be better than fucking Jesse Eisenberg, who was playing the Joker.
But tonally, what does James Gunn would do with a film like that? Because Superman inherently has to be like a PG film, right? You can't
Right,
go
but he
too
also
dark.
said he was going to return to the roots of Superman, which is a hero, not
Yeah.
what do you call it? Not a brooding character, which I'm
I still
excited
stand
for.
by Man of Steel is a great film. But you're right. We never got a Superman film where Superman is Superman working at the Daily Planet, doing his thing.
Yeah, that's the Superman I kind of want.
Yeah,
and
me
with
too.
James writing it, it's probably going to be very good. Curly Warlock, what do you think?
I definitely am looking forward to seeing what James Gunn does with Superman, because, like, considering what he did with the Suicide Squad, considering what he did with Peacemaker, like, he seems to be taking a good job at, like, finding the lightheartedness and kind of the heart that comes with a lot of superhero things that I felt like even Marvel occasionally lost track of in recent years. Like I would say like this movie that we just saw, like I mean, Guardians. This felt like a Phase 3 movie. This didn't feel like a Phase 5. This didn't feel like Phase 4. This felt like this was during the Infinity Saga. This felt like the lead ups during the good years.
Yeah, it reminded me of I like the joke they had when they're in the elevator and he was like, "Oh yeah, so I got really upset and like people blame me for half the wipe out of the universe." What's that?
The girl that they take hostage. You know who that was, don't you?
That was his wife, wasn't it?
No. The girl, the pink girl.
Oh, the pink girl.
Hair.
Oh no, who was?
Yeah, that was Ratcatcher too from Suicide Squad. That Dana.
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh, cool.
So there's another example of reusing.
He likes using the same people. I don't care. If I get big and I start making movies, you guys are flying to America and we're doing films.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
The only thing
I can be like the Rob Schneider from Adam Sandler's film. You can do it.
Yeah.
The only time I'm in the film, you can do it.
I heard that James Gunn was a little upset. The only person he couldn't try to get back into this thing because he tried to like even put the pictures of who was in it in the closing credits. Was he couldn't get Miley Cyrus back to reprise her role as one of the Ravagers because she's doing her music career.
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Huge loss. I don't think anyone.
I mean, like the fact that James Gunn actually says like, "Oh, there's one person that I couldn't get back," and just the fact that I got everybody but one seemed to be like something that bothered him.
And
it's a thorn in his side. Yeah.
Did we all miss that? Because I did.
No, I've seen like the fact that anybody would say like, "Oh, I couldn't get one person that didn't get killed off back."
Yeah.
Just because he's like, I want to try to get everyone in there, and whenever he couldn't get them in, he put them in the credits. Like you saw, like Ronan, and you saw like the Kreese guards and stuff during the closing credits. You saw like
that's right. Yeah,
all the characters that pretty much every person that was ever in. Well, actually, no, they didn't put some of the Nova Corps. No, I think they did have the Nova Corps in.
Oh, they had Nova Corps in there. Yeah.
So they had everybody in this thing that was in any of the previous films.
Wow.
Did you like the little Doctor Strange tie-in with one of the characters?
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But for people that didn't get it, want to talk about that?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the aliens, but that four-looking alien from Stallone's version of the Ravagers, that's how they come and meet them. Remember, they do the sling ring thing, and they
sling ring, and they pop in. Yeah,
and he's got
and he's hugging everybody, and I thought that was really nice. It was
another space wizard.
Yep, space hippies.
Yeah.
Oh man. I also found it to be interesting that they used those like big beastie things from Guardians 2, what Drax had to stab through in the beginning, as a device to get out. The obelisks. Yeah, they eat the batteries.
Oh, it was great that she was able to train them. Because when she leaves, you go, she's fine. No one's going to hurt her. With 3 obelisks as pets, I think she's just fine. So.
Right. I think she'll be great in space. She won't have any
Hey, did anyone see the Pete Davidson cameo?
Oh, yes. I love that.
About this. There's a moment at the end of it where Mantis opens all the cells to let out was that. She opens one and it's this round, really distorted and she's like, "Oh, gross, disgusting." That was Pete Davidson, which I thought was
awesome.
That was perfect. Yeah. Oh, it's so gross. What's so gross?
Not you.
Not you. You're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
That was hilarious.
That was great. And that's gonna wrap up this edition of 1 Week Later. I want to thank my good friends VHS Jace and Rick from Pop Culture Spread. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Go visit their stuff. Get a t-shirt from them. They have a whole merch store. There's plenty of cool. Look how cool that is. The Pop Culture's 3D. You got to get one of those shirts. I have one of those shirts somewhere.
Mug.
You got mugs. You got keychains, dildos, everything you can ever want. All available at Pop Culture Spread. And, of course, my good longtime friend, buddy, Quilly Warlock. You can catch him talking about horror movies with me on the channel. You can go check out like, share, and subscribe to be seen stuff here, and you can check out our Evil Dead Rise review with a special guest Dave from the last Respawn show, and that was very cool. And of course, we are all members of the Spectrum Sanctorum, and go over there and check us out at Spectrum Sanctorum. We have like a little clip goodbye. So goodbye.
See you guys.
Check out SpectrumSanctorum.net for all of our podcast merch. We have an entire merch store ready to give you all the things that you loved about our podcast. And get notified on all of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and our Spectrum Sanctorum merch store. Follow us today and be sure to hit that bell when you're watching our YouTube videos so you can be notified of when a new episode releases.